Hello, welcome back to Future Fiber. My name is Jenny, and this is a channel where I talk about all the crafty things that I do. If you were wondering why I'm dressed like Brendan Fraser from the Mummy movie, it's because at Future Fiber we commit to the bit. And today's topic is excavating through my abandoned work in progress projects. Okay, that's enough of this. If you've been watching my channel for a little bit, you already know that I love to just start projects. And there's quite a few that have just fallen off the wagon, fallen to the wayside, and you have not seen me work on them for many a moon or many a podcast episode. Whatever I didn't work on for the past 2 months, I consider statistically that the likelihood of coming back into my working rotation is very low, so those are the things that I considered as abandoned. Today, we will look through the basket of shame, moved from the cart of shame, which also holds works in progress. We will discuss if we will keep working on them, rework them into something else, or abandon the project and yarn altogether. And also, I wanted to show you my other efforts to get my life in order. Maybe it's a byproduct of my day job being confined to a desk between the average hours of 9 to 5. But I generally feel like I need something that's a little more tactile for me to actually remember things or keep things in order. I also created these project tags. I made the tags in Photoshop. I printed them out on regular printer paper, which I think if you want a cuter look, you could do it on cardstock or nicer paper, thicker paper. My printer's a little janky, so they printed kind of like a wackadoodle, and I only have a black and white printer, so that's that. After that, I laminated it using lamination paper, and then I cut around the paper using my X-Acto knife, and then I just rounded the corners. You could also use scissors. And then I punched a hole at the end. Here I have these O-rings, and then I also have these dog tag chains. Idea here is that I will attach it to these project bags, and then I don't have to look in the drawstring bag to know which project it is, because your girl be forgetting what's in these bags. You can write on these with a dry erase marker, and then you can wipe it off after you're done, so that it keeps it a little bit more reusable. So if you just saw me whip up those tags in Photoshop, and you also thought, hey, maybe I also want to try learning how to do that too, you could do that with the help of our sponsor for today, Skillshare. Now, this is the second video that I am working on with Skillshare. To give you a little bit more information about what Skillshare is, Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives, with thousands of classes led by industry experts across film, illustration, design, and more. Skillshare can definitely help you take your career, skills, and hobbies, really important, passions or side hustles to the next level. As I've mentioned before, I've been trying to really level up my illustration, graphic design kind of game, but also I've been kind of trying to up my YouTube game a little bit as well. How I edit my videos, and also just learning a little bit more about different tools that I could use. For example, I normally use Adobe Premiere to edit my videos just because that's what I'm most familiar with. But my friend recently suggested that I take a look at DaVinci Resolve. So I've been taking courses on Skillshare to also find out how I can transfer my skills between those programs. They also have a learning path designed specifically for that. Learning paths are a curated, sequential set of classes that are designed to help you learn a specific skill or competency. The first 500 people to click the link in my description down below, as well as the tag comment, will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So get started today. For those who don't want to learn how to make those tags on your own, I also have a downloadable link that I will share with you guys so that you could download and print at home. So you don't have to do the extra work if you don't want to. Isn't that so nice? But also you could handwrite this, and I'm sure it'll look much better. So with that out of the way, let's get to excavating. Let's just start from the top of the pile, shall we? Oh boy. Okay. Starting off with the banger. This is the Easy Peasy bandana that I was working on. And this is made with this Gigi Bonin yarns hand-dyed yarn. with these beautiful neon speckles, and it's a sock yarn, hand-dyed sock yarn, and I think this was the limited edition colorway Peppermint stick. And I'm holding this together with this mohair Magpie fibers. See, another problem with these long forgotten work in progress things is that I don't remember what yarns I used, even though this one is fairly recent, so I got I got one of the yarns right. But as always, description will have all of the yarns that I used and the project names. But that's what this was. Easy Peasy Bandana is a pattern by Paulastrickt. I think my idea with this project was that I really wanted to make something with this one ball of yarn, and therefore I got a mohair to hold with it just because I didn't want to knit a fingering weight pattern, and I just wanted this sock yarn to kind of hold on its own. That's why I started knitting like a bandana, because I was like, okay, if I have like a very simple scarf, I know that I will wear it in the winter and it'll just be a nice accessory to have, and it showcases the yarn in a very nice way, because I didn't want to do any complex patterns with this yarn because I just really wanted the speckle pattern to stand out on its own. So that was a good idea in my mind and in theory, but it's just I didn't really want to work on a bandana. I think that was like, I was tricking myself. I was like really hoping the yarn was pretty enough to motivate me to work on this bandana pattern, which is a great pattern. It's just, it's stockinette forever, and like flat stockinette forever. So it's just not my, most favorite thing to work on. So that's why it kind of fell in the back of the drawer, and it's been neglected for several months now, I think. So that's a little unfortunate, because I really do like the yarns. I think this is so pretty and I really do want to use it. Maybe it'll be better served if I just use another pink yarn and then create a garment instead that I will wear. I think part of my worry was like with hand-dyed yarns, if it's too crazy, then I don't really wear it that much. I mean, I have a dress kind of boring, like as you can see throughout my my different wardrobe videos and things like that. I don't really have a lot of really fashionably exciting pieces. So I guess that was like my main worry, if with this like pink confetti colored yarn, will I really wear something that I make with this, and it's going to have some sort of like color blocking, like color striping, something like that. So that was my main worry with this, and that's why it fell by the wayside, and it's very unfortunate. Another project that I had in mind when I had this yarn originally was to make a very deep cut v-neck vest that I could wear on top of like a shirt or something. And it has to be like a winter project because it is wool and mohair, and I know for a fact I'm not going to be wearing any like sleeveless top that I make with this in the summer. I just can't do wool in the summer. So it has to be a winter project, which also limits me a lot bit actually. So I'm thinking maybe I still will do the v-neck vest, go with my original plan, or plan B, go with my plan B and do a vest pattern. So a couple things that I have in mind are, I think the pattern name is called Sexy Back Vest. That one has a super deep V, and the V is mirrored from the front and the back, so you're using less yarn on both sides. So I think that's a great contender. And then another contender for the vest pattern is, I think it's called Capital V, and it's a pattern by Retrosaria. I was thinking that could also be a nice contender because it also has a very deep V in the front, but maybe that's like too deep, so maybe I will go with the Sexy Back pattern. I will just have to like look at them a little bit more and figure out what I want to make. But I think that's what's going to happen with this yarn. We will commit to the bit and we will convert this to a sweater. So I will repurpose the yarn for something, but the yarn is here to stay. She gets the first tag. I will also write on the tag with a dry erase marker, like so. And I'll leave the date empty since I haven't started it yet. I've just thought about it. Also, you will notice that all of my project bags are just repurposed garment storage bags that I got from different clothing and shoes and bag purchases. So they randomly ended up looking kind of cohesive because they're all like this like white muslin color cotton. So that's a nice plus of, you know, reusing whatever you have. But it also means that I bought a lot of clothes and bags and shoes in the past, so maybe that's not that good. But that's the first guy with the tag. Let's dive into the next one. And it's this little sock. I don't even know when I started this. It must have been like over a year ago, but this was like my attempt at a scrappy sock, I believe. And me and my socks, we have a love and hate relationship. And it seems like I cut off the yarn too, I guess because I needed to use the yarn that was on here for something. And it's on, you can tell like I gave up on this very, very much because it's on these little like 12-inch circulars, which I don't use at all and hurts my hands. So I'm wondering if I should just let this go. But I also don't know what I'm going to do with this much yarn anyways. So this project is definitely going into the graveyard as like a scrap yarn that I used to hold stuff onto, hold stitches onto or something like that. So say goodbye to this little sock project. Sometimes you just have to come to terms with the fact that you're never going to finish the sock, and then you have to let him go. I also started with like 16 stitches, so 8 and 8 on the bottom, which is like a really pointy toe. So I think this guy was a little doomed from the start. I don't know why I did this, you know, but life goes on. And this little guy is going to the trash, probably. Goodbye. All right, what else is in here? Move this out of the way. What is all this? Oh, boy. Another sock. This is a cuff down sock, which is another like rare thing for me. I usually start my socks toe up. So I think I just got really bored of it as I was working on it. And I'm gonna be totally honest, the sock yarn isn't my favorite. Like, I don't think I would wear this kind of pattern. Like, I don't think I would choose to buy socks with this kind of pattern. And I also don't think I would have bought this yarn on my own. This is from a Christmas Advent from 2 years ago or something like that. And this was from Biscotti Yarns, and it's a hand-dyed yarn. It's really nice. It does feel very soft and stuff. That's why I started making the sock, and I have plenty of it to make a pair. It's just I don't really like the color. I do like the pattern. It's like a 5-6 stitch repeat, so it's like five knits and 1 purl. And I think it looks really nice. Looks like a men's dress sock almost. But I just don't know if I would wear this. But I also have made a lot of progress, so it makes me feel bad like not finishing this and not using this yarn. I will probably make another pair of socks with this, but I don't know if this is the sock that I want to finish, because this is the first sock, so I still have to make another one, and the likelihood of me finishing that other one is low at this point. So another thing that's kind of in the graveyard right now is my circular sock machine that my friend 3D printed for me. I never actually got around to learning how to use it because I was just so overwhelmed by it, and I was kind of intimidated, but I do have some time to figure out how to use it, so that will be one of the next videos upcoming in the next like month and a half or so. So maybe this yarn could be repurposed for the circular sock machine project, and I don't have to feel as guilty just having this sit in work in progress pile. I don't feel fully ready to commit to just unwinding this and then putting it back into ball form yet, so I will leave him together. But I think what's gonna happen is that they get used up as my test yarn for the circular sock machine. So stay tuned on that. What else do we got? And another reason why I'm doing this whole thing is because I want to reclaim some of the yarn, or I want to reclaim some of the needles that are on these projects as well, because I was going through and being like, where's my 4mm? Where's my 3.75? And they're all on these projects, so I need to take them back, you know? So the next project is this Waffle Loop neck warmer project. I started this at the end of the winter this year, and then I just never finished it. Can you, like, that's another thing too. A lot of these projects that don't get finished are accessory projects, which is kind of a bummer. So I never have accessories to wear in the winter. This is a 100% alpaca yarn that I got from a alpaca farm in Martha's Vineyard, and it's made from the fibers of Revelation, the alpaca. Yeah, it's very pricey yarn, and that's why I made it into like a neck warmer, so it sits closer to the neck and the upper body, but it's not quite a garment because I don't have quite enough for a garment. But it's been a haul just because now I don't really have motivation to finish it because it's not winter. But I do think I want to finish this because I can't think of anything else that I would want to make with this yarn, and I also really like how this looks, and I know that if I finish it, it'll be something that I actually do wear, so I do think I need to finish this. This guy deserves a project bag for that reason, and we'll put him in this little drawstring bag, and we gotta write the name on it. Oh, I also tested the dry erase marker to make sure that it actually comes off the tag. It does come off the tag easily with like a wet paper towel. Once it's fully dry, it won't it won't get rubbed off by you like accidentally touching it or whatever. But I would just be mindful of, you know, handling it too much. I think also you could probably write on it with like a Sharpie, but then like wipe it off using acetone. But I haven't tested that, so if it doesn't come off, don't blame me, okay? Started, I'll leave blank because I don't remember when I started it. Oh, maybe I'll just write Q1 2024. How about that? So that's the second project that has not been banished. Perfect. Okay, what else is in here? Oh, another accessory. This one I already know is gonna have to be banished or something. So this is a glove. These are the Ole Mittens by Paulastrickt or Susanne Muller. Great looking pattern. I think the brioche looks really amazing and perfect. I just didn't know what I was doing with the brioche. I got lost and I lost motivation, and I also hate this yarn. I like how it looks, like I like how the glove looks, and the stitch definition is really awesome, and the yarn is really nice and soft. I just don't really like this yarn color. I just don't think it's really me, and I was mostly knitting these mittens to use up the yarn, and that's why I think I lost interest really quickly on it, which is a bummer. Sometimes you just have to come to terms with the fact that you're not gonna make what you started, and it is that day. Like, this has been on hold for I think over a year at this point, so there's just no way that I'm going to finish this. So I am trying to think of what to do with the yarn, but in the meanwhile I just think we have to take it off these needles. Also, this is a 4mm needle. I was wondering where these went. Of course I couldn't find them because they're on this dang mitten. I'm wondering what I should do with this. The color does kind of, now that I'm looking at it, reminds me of like a calico cat. So maybe I will make a cat plushie and see how that turns out. What do you guys think about that? But if you have any suggestions of what I should do with this is a worsted weight yarn, I think. Worsted or, yeah, worsted. And that was another reason why I didn't know what to do with it. I think there's enough here for a hat, but I'm not gonna wear a hat with this color either. I could give it to someone, I could give it to my boyfriend, but I also don't want him to wear this color either. There has to be a reflection of his tastes in the gifts that I knit for him, but also a reflection of my tastes you know? Like, I will veto certain decisions, fashion decisions that he makes just because I think they look like poo-poo. That's part of a relationship. Okay. We're moving right along. I think we're at a good pace. Like, we only got a couple more projects left. Next project is this baby bear bonnet that I was making for a friend's baby. I pivoted really quickly while I was working on this, and then I pivoted to making them a baby sweater. I made the petite knit festival sweater baby for the baby shower instead of the baby bear bonnet. And this is my 4th or 3rd baby bear bonnet that I'm making, so I was just kind of like tired of the pattern, I think. And the pattern is like not that easy to follow. You do have to do, you know, the brain has to be on a little bit. So I think that was a big reason why I kind of got tired of it and then switched to something else. Winter is still a ways away. I want to be seeing the baby at some point, so I wonder if I should just finish this and then give it to her then. Give it to my friend then. You know, I've already got some progress on it, and if I really sat down and like worked on it for a day, like I know that this will be done. So maybe I'll just keep it and work on it and then give it to my friend as a gift. So she survives another day. But if she survives another day, she deserves to be in a project bag. Oh, right, the yarn. This is some sort of baby yarn that I got from Michael's. I've definitely mentioned this in a previous podcast episode, so I will find the information and put it down below. But Baby Bear Bonnet by Knitting for Olive is kind of confusing, but if you just follow the pattern, I've said this before too, but if you just follow the pattern, trust the process, and just do it, it'll turn out. So I think it's a great little gift for bebés. And mostly it's really for the parents, because the parents love the little baby ears, you know. Baby Bear Bonnet lives another day, and I will give it another tag. Baby. Project number 3 that survived the purge. Alright, in my hand I have one more project bag. And it seems like there's one more project in here, so that's good. This is an oldie. This is really old. If you're a Future Fiber OG, you might remember this. It's a blanket. It's a crochet blanket that I was working on in my first ever podcast episode. And I think this is the Sunrise Throw by Fast Kitty Krafts. It's a YouTube tutorial that I was following for this crochet project, and I think my biggest point of failure with this was twofold. One, I did not buy enough yarn. I originally wanted to make a blanket with just this yarn, and clearly I did not have enough. And then 2, I chose a pattern that uses up a lot of yarn. These stitches, I don't know what they are, but there's a bobble in here, and yeah, it just takes up a lot of yarn, as you can see. And I think I only bought enough yarn to really make a baby-sized blanket, but I really wanted like a, you know, big throw, which was not helping. And then I bought this yarn to kind of supplement, which is the Lion Brand Hometown yarn. And I hate this yarn. Oh, it's in the colorway Houston Cream. I hate this yarn. This is horrible to work with. Like, it feels really squeaky, and it splits really easily, especially with crochet. And I've knitted a whole sweater with this before when I was first starting out knitting, and I don't know how I did that, because it was a miserable time trying to do anything with it. So I think that yarn just needs to go. Like, I need to donate it or something. So unfortunately, she's got to disappear from my life, and it'll be a weight off my shoulders. I do think I will just take it to a Goodwill, or if one of you guys want this, let me know. We'll figure something out. But this green yarn, I'm not really sure what to do with. now that I'm looking at it, the color isn't really like something that I would like either. So I don't actually know why I bought this. It does feel nice, and I think it was like easy to work with from what I remember. So maybe I will unfurl it and make some sort of like very net like throw that uses less yarn somehow. I will keep this green yarn and then use it for something else. Probably going to be another blanket project, because I do not want to make something that I will wear with this, because it is, while it does feel nice, I would never use this color to wear. So white yarn, hometown Lion Brand hometown yarn, gone from my life, will be donated, removed from my home. This blue-green mystery yarn that I can't remember what it is, and pretty sure it's discontinued because I never saw it at Michael's ever again. I will figure out something else to do with this. But if you have any ideas of like a very net like throw blanket project, let me know. I think that's everything. I didn't have as many abandoned work in progress projects as I thought. Like, I thought I had way more. I am feeling pretty good after I've made my mind up about, you know, dispelling these yarns from my house and things like that. I'm just excited for all of these to take up less space, both mentally and physically in my room. So, do you have any long-term whips that you haven't gotten through? Maybe it's time for us to revisit those things and determine if we want to keep them in our lives or if we want to banish them to the shadow realm, aka the trash or goodwill. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, and don't forget to check out our sponsor Skillshare. Thanks for coming to this archaeological dig with me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. Why am I sitting on the stairs? Change of pace. I don't know.